Welcome to me reflecting upon the lessons in A Course in Miracles. We have come to lesson number 19, and thank you for listening and liking and subscribing. The crowd who is listening is growing, and that's such a joy for me to do this, not alone this time. So I will go ahead with some parts of the text and then reflect upon them. Lesson number 19. Lesson number 19 says, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of my thoughts. And if you hear something in the background, it's actually my dish machine that is working, so I hope it will not disturb us too much. The idea for today is obviously the reason why your seeing does not affect you alone. You will notice that at times the ideas related to thinking precede those related to perceiving, while at other times the order is reversed. The reason is that the order does not matter. Thinking and its results are really simultaneous, for cause and effect are never separate. Well, take that for a challenge about talking about shifting the way of seeing the world, experiencing the world. So I will stop there for a while because this is kind of heavy, I think. So it's simultaneously there is cause and effect are never separate. Second paragraph. Today, we are again emphasizing the fact that minds are joined. This is rarely a wholly welcome idea at first, since it seems to carry with it an enormous sense of responsibility and may even be regarded as an invasion of privacy. Yet, it is a fact that there are no private thoughts. Despite your initial resistance to this idea, you will yet understand that it must be true if salvation is possible at all. And salvation must be possible because it is the will of God. More and more I recognize here that God, the name God, the word God, is mentioned more often. And as I've been reading A Course in Miracles for many decades, as old viewers know, and now new, very welcomed viewers here, it will continue to be mentioned, and also other biblical ways of biblical Christian ways of naming the the world beyond words, but we are people, so we have names. They will be mentioned, God and the Son and other biblical reference words will be used. And that didn't put me off at all, because I like going to attend church, and I'm a believer, and this text is beautiful as the Bible, but I've chosen to read this text now, not the Bible. Maybe I will reflect on that text in the future too on YouTube. So what do I want to say going here in my thoughts and reflections? I know, because I've been joining groups talking about the Course in Miracles from time to time in my life, and sometimes I tell people in dialogues, and when you talk with friends and everyone, sometimes I have noticed that it's loaded for some people. It's charged, like, religion has done so much bad, and God, I have difficulties with name God, I have difficulties with Jesus, I have difficulties with this and that, and nowadays I don't go into that kind of dialogues, because I respect people have their experiences. I'm saying this now as I will continue to reflect on this beautiful book, Course in Miracles, because as far as it's possible, I don't want it to be a disturbance for viewers. I don't know what God is, but I can feel that it is. I can feel that it is. I don't know if that made anything clearer, but I said it. Okay. So I will continue. So the last sentence before this excursion of my mind was, and salvation must be possible because it is the will of God. The minute or so of mind searching which today's exercises require is to be undertaken with eyes closed. The idea for today is to be repeated first, and then the mind should be carefully searched for the thoughts it contains at that time. As you consider each one, name it in terms of the central person or theme it contains, and holding it in your mind as you do so, say, I am not alone in experiencing the effects of this thought about, and fill in blank. For example, in my case, I'm not alone in experiencing the effects of this thought about evilness. It just came. It feels good not to be alone about my thoughts about whatever evil is. Evilness sounds sweeter than evil. Fourth paragraph. It is said that this text can cause mental fatigue, and when I go, I'm not mentally fatigued, but it's kind of, it's a lot to take in. Paragraph 4. The requirement of as much indiscriminateness as possible in selecting subjects for the practice periods should be quite familiar to you by now, and will no longer be repeated each day, although it will occasionally be included as a reminder. Do not forget, however, that random selection of subjects for all practice periods remains essential throughout. Lack of order in this connection will ultimately make the recognition of lack of order in miracles meaningful to you. I read that again. Lack of order in this connection will ultimately make the recognition of lack of order in miracles meaningful to you. That needs a bit of contemplation, at least for me. Apart from the as needed application of today's idea, at least 3 practice periods are required. Shortening the length of time is involved if necessary. So that's an encouragement. We can shorten it. I can shorten it. Do not attempt more than 4. Yes. So, good evening. Good evening, Tokyo.
Yes, good evening. Interesting chapter. I think it's interesting that you talked about God. And, the chapter also mentioned God, didn't it?
Yes, it did. That's why I did this excursion
Deep
of the
dive
mind.
into religious,
I did. A bit long.
Attitudes and whatever. Very interesting. I thought that, could I ask, because I don't know as much about this book and the background and the milieu that it was written in, about who wrote it and so on. I know there was a university professor, or 2 of them.
That's right.
But what is its stance on religion or Christianity? Now, is it, because I've heard that you refer to it as a conduit to the sort of the heart and the feeling of Jesus' energy. I've heard those words being used.
I have used them, yes.
Yeah, so could you explain to me, and perhaps people in the audience who aren't so sure about where this book actually comes from in terms of philosophical background,
Yes. With respect for not being very correct in every detail, it was in the late 60s that 2 psychologist professors at the Columbia University in New York, who had arguers and difficulties cooperating. The situation got so bad and aggressive and problematic. So one day, this is a short version what I have learned, and it says in the book too. It suddenly came as an epiphany to one of them, Helen Schuckman, that there must be another way. The epiphany was there is another way. There is, and came so strong to her. So it was a revelation. Then from that, words like somebody talking to her in her head started, and she actually thought she was going mad. She was losing it. She told friends. She told her colleague, whose name, her maid colleague, whose name I don't remember right now. I'm sorry. And she was encouraged to start writing it down, what this voice had to say. That resulted, 1971, in a text, A Course in Miracles, and a book. I choose to, because this is my true inner feeling, that it's the voice, not the voice of Jesus. It sounds so conceptual. To me, Christ consciousness is the divine consciousness, that the spark that can enlighten all of us from inside. It's there already. It does not have to come inside. It's there, and we are part of something. We are not God, but we are part of God. So Christ consciousness, that is love. Not doing loving gestures and so. That all, of course, be love. To be. This sounds a bit abstract, but Tokyo, you have heard me throughout the years as I'm your mother, and you're my grown-up son. And is this mumbo jumbo in your ears? You can be frank with me.
Well, I think even if it is mumbo jumbo, it's mumbo jumbo shared by many, many people in an interesting system of beliefs. So I think it has value. Yeah, it's very interesting. Thanks. Thanks for the clarification.
Thank you. Shall we say good evening, Tokyo? Out and.
Yeah, Tokyo out.
Okay, but you're hanging on because I'm closing up the lesson, the video. Okay. So for new viewers, I'm not reading the book from page to page. I'm going through lessons that I think are and have been challenging for me, and I still think that every word in this book, and it's a beautifully translated book in many, many languages, they shine to me like they spark. It's a wonderful, wonderful way of putting things. It's poetry. And my son, who encouraged me to start reflecting on this text, why don't you do it on YouTube? My son lives in Tokyo. And as we started, it was such fun experience to read and reflect. And then in the end, I asked for some not only technical support, because that's why we started, but also for reflections for somebody who did not read a book, heard of it, but not in that community, or because it is a bit strange. So that's why. Thank you very much for participating in this, and see you very, very soon.